Yo, 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 what up, mother truckers? Welcome to another episode of Lefty Live. I almost said rendition. I'm like, I'm not Scab. What the fuck? I will be joined by Ben in a second from Jack Wolf Knives. Talk about the Cyborg. It's dropping tomorrow. And looks like he's ready to go. I'm gonna bring him on. Yeah, dude.
What is up, everybody? Let me mute my other screen here.
Chilling.
All right. There we go.
I got the
Cheers.
vanilla Coke. Cheers, bro. We
Cheers,
got
my
water.
brother. Lots and lots of water. Make
Arizona,
sure I wake up.
baby.
Yeah. This guarantees I'll wake up at least twice in the night.
Yeah, is that how it goes?
Yep.
Yeah. I don't really wake up that much anymore. Maybe once. I used
Usually
to wake
once.
up all the time. That's because I was drinking like beers constantly.
I drink a lot of water at night, which is probably stupid, but I don't drink enough during the day. You gotta get.
Yeah, it's good, dude. It's good.
Yeah.
I try to get my water intake from like seltzers because I fucking hate drinking straight water.
Look at a big Diet Coke fan. Diet Coke and Diet Dr. Pepper are my.
Oh, I hate the diet, man. It has that just nastiness in it. Was it aspartame or whatever?
That shit's good for you, bro.
No, that shit literally causes brain cancer.
That's what they say.
They don't know what Stacy? Nuts for Knives. All right, James. I see you, bro. He changes. Oh, you got a channel now. Nuts for Knives 20.
I like that. Nuts for Knives.
What's the 20 for? What's the 20 at the end for? It's cool. Is that how old you are? Ionin.
What's up, Stacy?
Eonin. Fuck, I always say Ionin. It's Eonin. What's up, dude? Thanks for stopping by, bro. He just dropped a growler review last week, I think. So shout out to him. Thank you for that.
I need to give him a follow.
We are sending the wire for the growlers tomorrow. So you will be seeing those at White Mountain Knives probably within the next month. Look at this. I tried to sharpen this on a DMT pocket stone that I got in. I was like, I'm just going to try to see if I can sharpen. And I can't.
Oh, you're a regular Murray Carter.
It's a beater prototype, but I kind of feel bad. I fucked it up completely. I thought I had a shot at it. I'm pretty good at stropping, I thought, but maybe not.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. So I will not be sharpening my own stuff. Whoever recommended that DMT stone, you can go fuck yourself because that was a terrible idea.
Well, listen, I got the sharpening solution for you and everybody else in the chat. So
yeah. What's his name?
Corey Dunlap. I need to drag him onto one of our lives. Did you meet him at Blade Show in Salt Lake?
Oh, I thought that was Coleman.
No, so Corey and Cole used to both help me at the table. So they were both at Blade Atlanta in 21.
Okay.
But Corey also is a bladesmith, so he had his own table in Salt Lake this time.
So who was the dude at your table when I was there?
Coleman.
Okay, that's who I thought that was. All right. So no, I did not meet Corey then, I guess.
I should have introduced you to him, but he makes some really nice fixed blades. He makes the sickest chef's knives too. But he's a master sharpener and he runs a sharpening business. We share workspace together.
Oh, here? Really?
Yeah, in Phoenix.
Here. What am I here?
Yeah, right here.
Phoenix, I mean.
We've been friends since the year 2000. And I got to get him on the show. He's fascinating to talk to just because he has a lot of experience. He's sharpened over like 100,000 knives over the last 11 years.
Okay. Yeah, I'll send him some knives.
Yeah,
I'm not doing it.
Well, check out CoreyDunlap.com. He's got the whole thing set up.
Let's go check it out.
Yeah,
Corey or Y?
CoreyDunlap.
Go check it out.
Yeah, put it up so I can kind of help you navigate there, or at least see what you're looking at.
Is he also a sexy motherfucker like you, or?
Oh,
yeah, look at him. Sexy motherfucker there. Ripped too.
The dude's definitely is strong. He swings that frickin' hammer all the time, you know.
That's awesome, dude.
So go to the let's look at the sharpening section first. Mail and sharpening.
Mail in.
So he uses what's called the nano hone system. They're these diamond embedded abrasives. It's like state of the art sharpening system, and he's an authorized dealer for them. And he services primarily chefs,
right?
You know, in the local area, but he can do chip repairs, tip repairs. He can do everything, man. And it's all done by hand.
Tips are fucking tough, dude.
Bro, this guy can sharpen lawnmower blades. He can sharpen like everything. He doesn't.
We should talk to him about that knife that Brent sharpened for me and accidentally fucked the tip up.
I'll tell you, he can do it all. He's just got a ton of experience, and you know he does it all by hand.
Oh, look at that! What's that knife right there?
Yep, that's
What's
mine.
That? Huh? Cool.
He sells these dope strops too. They're like, I don't know if he's got them on the website, but they're let's
see, sharpening supplies.
Yeah, those are.
So he sells whetstones and shit.
Yeah, they're
nano hone. Got it.
Yep. Let's see if he has.
Yeah, I think the mistake I made with this fucking first off is a fucking pocket stone. It's literally like this long. And I was just fucking around. I was like, maybe I can sharpen. And then I got invested, and I was like, I'm gonna fucking do it. And then I fucked it up.
You should always practice on some cheap knives first. Scroll down a little bit.
Those are a cheap knife, dude.
Those are ceramics.
It's a prototype of a budget knife.
Scroll. See the metal plates on the back? They interlock into the base. So that's part of the system. Scroll down a little bit. So those are ceramic stones. These are the diamond resin stones. And they're all done by micron because micron's like a official measurement. Grit is not like an official measurement. And those are the strops. And he's got mini ones too that are a lot shorter.
Fucking expensive, dude.
It's state of the art stuff. It's not cheap. I mean, it's all like machined out of solid blocks of aluminum, and
this is like for fucking serious people, you know what I'm saying?
Correct. It's professional sharpening equipment, but the strops are not that expensive, especially the small ones, and they're pretty cool.
Oh, he's got some for sale, guys. Well, there's at least one for sale right here. Look at this thing. Oh,
dude! And I'll tell you what, this guy was a chef for the first part of his career. So he knows that's where he like first learned to sharpen. So he knows how to make a good kitchen knife. And he's also sharpened,
they also look fucking sexy, dude.
And they're all forged, dude, out of, whatever you start with, bar stock.
Oh, look at this. He's got little fixed blades too.
Yeah. Obviously, I'm in his ear about material. We're always talking about what to do. So he's got that lava flow, little fixed blade.
Look at this. He's got a 1084 Bowie right there. Bowie.
Yeah.
As soon as he comes out with a folder on bearings, I'm in, dude.
Not exactly his wheelhouse, but hey, I'll get him on the show, man. He's cool. He's interesting. I think your audience would enjoy listening to him.
For sure. What up, Jeffrey? What's going on? D Metal, what's up? Pretty flop or a knife guy. I'm way behind again as usual. What time is it? 9:30. Yep. Let me skip ahead. Make sure I didn't miss anything important. Nope. Okay. Doing good. What up, Trayvon? What's going on, dude?
Saying hi to each other. Looks like.
Yep. Cool. Yeah. So real quick, Knives Live 2022 is still happening. You can still get in on all the prizes behind me. There's 5 boxes of stuff, which reminds me I have some stuff to add to it. Said Stevie sent this in from Lynch Northwest. So Lynch Northwest donated this. Check this thing out, dude. It's fucking cool. This is a pimped out Delica.
Wow.
From Lynch Northwest. They put a custom clip on it, custom scales. I think the whole fucking thing is because I even think the spring is redone because it looks like really freshly machined. I don't think Spyderco does it that way.
The only thing left is the blade.
Yeah, basically is the blade, and it, dude, watch this shit.
Oh yeah,
that shit's right up your alley, bro.
That's nice.
Yeah, it's almost like walk and talk fidgety.
Is it a lockback? How's the lock feel when you depress it? Like
what do you mean, stiff or whatever?
Well, let's say when it's locked, do you feel like metal kind of rubbing when you disengage it?
No, it's like, yeah, they
And then when you
polish
hit the
all that
lock,
shit.
does it guillotine?
No. Doesn't do anything.
That's all right.
But you can basically just operate it like a slip joint and just hold the lock. You know?
Yeah, that's really well done.
That's really cool. So that's going into one of the prize packages. I'm probably just gonna drop it like it's hot into one of them. Somebody will just get a nice surprise when they get their winnings.
I'm rocking my pinion.
Oh yeah, sick, dude. Let me try to get this back on. I have one other Knives Live thing. Check this out. I got my Giant Mouse Ace Nibbler today. Fucking dude, this thing is micro and awesome.
It's a good looking design.
Yeah, I ordered 2 more.
How much do those cost?
If you get the N690 aluminum ones like this, it's made by Riot, dude. $95. And then you can get my Carta and 20 CV for $150, and then titanium 20 CV for $185.
Wow, that's a big price difference between the. Is there really that big of a price difference between the 2 steels, like the aluminum version versus the micarta version?
I think. Well, you're adding titanium, and you're adding 20 CV. It has
titanium liners.
Nope, it still stays 420 steel. So I thought that was interesting too.
Where's the titanium on the micarta version? Use your knife.
Yeah, damn. Fucking Bees Blades over here. Super glued this shit in, dude. Holy shit. 2 Lefty, 4 knife rights. So if I could ever open this package, let's just see what it is. It's a Kaiser Drop Bear. I haven't handled one of these, and I don't really like the design, but it's like wildly popular for some random reason. Probably because it kind of looks like a bug out. I don't know.
I was gonna say it looks a lot like a bug out to me.
Not when it's open, but
right.
It's got the K9 spear point bulb. But what's cool about it to everybody is it has a adjustable axis lock system. You can make the spring stronger or weaker, which is pretty cool. It actually is. This feels pretty good. It's one of the better axis lock knives I've tried. Aluminum scale. Yeah, this is actually pretty good. Now I get it. It's not my overall design style, but it's good.
Does it have replaceable springs, or how do you adjust it?
It has 5 little holes, and you can take the top scale off, and then you can just adjust the spring into one of the holes, and it adjusts the tension. You don't have to take it apart or anything. You just take the top scale off, which is nice because everybody knows taking a Benchmade apart sucks.
That's pretty clever.
Yeah. So thank you to Bees Blades for sending this in for Knives Live. I will drop this and this into 2 different packages back there randomly. But yeah, you guys still have time. Tomorrow at midnight is the cutoff to donate. If you donate $10, you get an entry into the grand prizes. $35 if you get a year membership will get you 4 entries, and then obviously every $10 is another entry. And then not only do we have the 5 packages that are like at least $1,000 each, I'm doing a raffle myself, which you can enter if you do the same exact thing, but just put Lefty's raffle in the subject. I have a whole pouch full of stuff. I got a Blackwater Machine Works custom driver, an Asher knife, a tactile pen, a Magnus slider, and some other shit. And then you also get entered into the raffle for the Pony Stout, the Blade Chops version of the stout where he chopped it down and everything. It has fat carbon. It's fucking sick. It's over in another room. But you get entered into all that shit. So go donate fucking $10 or more and get in on this shit. So anyway,
the prize table is stacked.
Yeah. I'll teach you how to sharpen for a stout. Fuck no. I'll keep my stout. I'm just kidding. I just honestly, I don't have the bandwidth to learn that. Like, I just don't need another thing to learn. So real quick, while we have, since Ben's here, you know, timely, we got the Cyborg. Dude, is it the Cyborg Jack or the Cyborg? I fucking call it the Cyborg Jack, and I think I'm weird.
No, everything is something Jack.
Okay. I wasn't sure, but it kind of sounds cooler as just the Cyborg. Just saying.
Well, you could call it the Cyborg, just like you call the sharpshooter. Like, it says Cyborg Jack on the tin, but I ain't gonna be mad at you if you call it the Cyborg. What's up, Casey? Got the opinion in the house. Yeah. Jack, because it's a jackknife. Jack, because it's Jack Wolf knives.
What's up, Casey? So I gotta say, dude, again, it's like might be my favorite yet. I say that every fucking month, but it's really good, dude.
This is a good one.
Yeah.
I don't like this one. I have a little bit, special place in my heart for it because I really just designed it from scratch without looking at a traditional knife to pattern it off of.
A lot different, dude. It's more satisfying as a designer, and it's probably like just cooler, you know. So I get it. This is the hot pink. It also comes in that toxic green you see there. This is camo carbon. That's fat carbon. And then it also comes in a dark matter orange. Damn, our timing's on point, son. Dark matter orange, which I think goes great with the cyborg theme because of the eyes of a cyborg. And then it also comes in two micarta versions.
Your video was wrong. It's black and green.
Damn it. What did I say?
Black and natural, I think.
Fuck.
But
why do I always fuck that up too? And you've told me like 8 times.
I'm constantly changing them. So, and this lighting is not good, but green here on the bottom, black here on the top.
Yeah. And this one looks good in micarta, I think. I mean,
agree.
they all look good, but I think that looks really good. So
the walk on talk on this one is awesome.
It's silly, dude.
It's awesome.
It's fucking like it's silly. It really is. It's probably the most addicting one yet because it's so. I said this in my video, which dropped like right before this, so probably not many people have seen it, but the way it cradles your hand when you go to close it it's really important to me because my favorite Jack Wolf is the Midnight by far. I always say that. I just love sheep's feet, whatever. But the one complaint I have about the Midnight is when I go to close it, it's such a straight line that it's almost a little weird. It's not like an actual problem. It's just that, but I got to nitpick. This is the complete opposite. Like it nestles so well and it just makes you want to open and close it over and over and over. And I'll just sit there and, like a half hour goes by and I'm like, what the fuck? I'm just sitting here,
dude,
ripping this.
Not only is it curving here, but it's also moving up here. So like both parts of your hand can form more of a U.
It just feels really. And then if you do the one hand, it's by far the most comfortable one hand one for me. I've like literally from day one really had no issue with it, and you guys know I'm a bitch about that.
It's got like a thumb ramp right here. Yeah. So there's more, there's more material and you can get it going.
It's so good, dude.
One of these days, bro, we're gonna gator ourselves doing it one-handed.
Oh yeah, dude, it's gonna
hurt. Knock on wood, but it's like I've done it. I've been opening and closing these so many times. A few times I've like over traveled them and they've been like that.
I've never done that. How are you doing that, dude? You're just muscling the shit out of it? Like,
I don't know. Sometimes I'm just in a hurry and I overdrive them.
yeah, see, I'm such a bitch that I'm like watching it and like every moment you know what I mean? So like I'm not gonna over travel it.
During inspection, I open and close each one anywhere from like 2 to 10 times, you know?
Right.
So it's like there's a lot of opening and closing cycles that I go through. And I'm just like, you know what? I'm lucky that I haven't done it yet because it's going to suck.
You read that comment? My Jack Wolf knives are like jackrabbits. They keep multiplying. That's great.
That's great. The Jackrabbit Jack.
Yeah, there you go. There's a new one. So yeah, my two nitpicks on the knife, because I gotta point out nitpicks are, I don't love the rhino's tip, but I've gotten used to it on this one. It's not as aggressive as like the Benny's clip, or at least it doesn't feel like it, And then the end of the handle, which I think is mostly a me thing, because I don't have one here. I love the Northwood slips where the end sticks out. So for me, it kind of just looks a little bit off. But like if you use the stock slip, how does it sit in there? Does it stick out at all, or is it covered?
Completely covered. And
okay, well then it's fine.
Yeah. And my preference with a slip is different from yours.
Right.
I understand you like to be able, I get why you like it the way you like it. Number one, you can see some of the handle material sticking up, which looks good. And then obviously you can grab it easily. But for me, one of the things a leather slip does that I really like is some drop protection.
Yeah.
And I know if I have the ass end hanging out, I'm going to drop that knife on. Yeah. But I took special care when designing the butt end of this to put these chamfers and like radiuses on this thing so that it wouldn't be uncomfortable in your hand. Just want to throw that out there for people in the audience in case they're wondering. And I have big hands.
What I noticed was what you could do on a slip like this, what I've been doing, I just put it in ass first, and then it sits a lot. It doesn't have that kind of end part sticking out.
Now
you could just carry it the other way, and then it's not an issue.
Can Troy do a slip where it's like?
I asked him. He can't like angle it to where it. Like I could get one where it just covers it and it would be fine. And most people, that's what they like anyway.
Yeah.
We'll see. I should have it tomorrow, dude. I got a hot pink slip. It's gonna be sick.
What color stitch did you get?
I'm guessing black. I think
it would look good with black or white.
Yeah. I think this would, because there's black in the camo carbon. That's why I like going with black. Oh, excuse me. I just put it in ass first. Lefty EDC. Yep. Speaking of slips, I got this sick Oak City leather slip for my chickadee, dude. And it's front lefty carry. And I bought another chickadee. So I got another one of these coming.
Did you get the root beer float?
Awesome. What?
Did you get the root beer
dude,
float?
I want that one. I got a yellow one on the secondary for my buddy Ev. So if I can get a root beer float, I'll get that too.
Show me the mouth of the slip.
I'll show you that. What are you looking for?
I just want to know how they finish the edge and everything.
Oh yeah, this guy's like, fuck. I think he's a absolute beast at leather work. But
that is dope. I love how the clip is integrated. How he folded that piece of leather. Like that's good work, dude.
Dude, it's fucking sick. My only complaint would be the size, maybe, because it's such a small knife. But it goes in your pocket, not your belt. And I measured it out, and the tip is like right here, and that's with me not jamming it all the way in. Like when I set it, when I first got it, you know how you kind of like set it where you want it? I only went this far because on a knife this small, I need to be able to grab the handle to get it out.
Yeah.
So if you jammed it in, like I think most people probably go to that screw, Then
How
it would
far in
sit
will it go?
almost at the end.
Yeah, you want to have enough out where you can at least pinch it, right?
It's perfect, dude. I got it set perfectly. Yeah, dude,
Looks
this
good,
thing
man.
is absolutely awesome. I
And
love this.
I feel like if you're going to carry a fixed blade, like if it's got a little bit bigger form factor, I mean, you're getting the benefits of a fixed blade. So it's a little more forgivable. Those Kydex sheaths are as small as it can possibly get.
Yeah. So if I want to like have it disappear, or that's the cool thing is now it's like I got options. So I can carry it front left, but let's say I'm reviewing a knife that has a lefty clip. I can just pop this off, put it in the Kydex, put it on my belt. You
Yeah,
know, so I can switch it up.
you could carry that on your belt too.
What, this or
The
this?
leather one. The leather one.
He makes a leather slip, I think now. But the whole point for me of the reason I love the Chickadee is the size.
Yeah, yeah.
So like his sheath, the one that comes with the knife, is fucking perfect. Like I literally don't even know I'm wearing it.
Yeah.
So
it's ultra minimalist.
yeah, that's what I love about it. I also got this prototype in today.
Which design is that one?
So this is Sparrow Knife Co. And the knife is called the Strix. And it's fucking fire, dude. This thing is sexy as all. If you're into a sheep's foot like I am, check it out. It kind of reminds me of the Stout a little bit.
I was gonna say it's got fucking Devo vibes.
Yeah, it's way more aggressive. Like it has a fucking like pterodactyl face versus like an eagle's beak. You know what I mean?
Those could be brothers
Yeah,
or like cousins.
for sure. And that's probably one of the reasons I really like it.
The harpoon on that thing is crazy, dude. It makes it look like a spatula. And I don't mean that in a negative way. There's just a lot of metal up there.
But the way he formed it, when you're choked up, so usually when people do this shit, like when you get a harpoon like that, what happens is your thumb lands right on top of that fucking poon. It hurts like a bitch. It's annoying. The way we did it, we had it where your thumb kind of just nestles in there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or your index finger nestles in there. And he did the same thing. He lined it up perfectly, at least for my hand. My thumb kind of glides right up to it and it just locks you in. Like it's fucking awesome.
Badass.
Yeah, I'm digging it. And because of the clip, it works really well left-handed. Fucking fires.
Right. And you said that's a prototype?
Yeah, there's a pre-order starting on the 20th. It's made by Best Tech. He does customs.
Okay.
But he did a production version. I think he said his plan was to do this production run to help him fund like more machines so he can do more in-house, which is a kind of a cool concept as a custom maker, you know?
Absolutely.
What else was I gonna say? The stouts, I got a new batch of scales. So yeah. I got this is called Shagadelic, by the way. I thought it was just called 80s, but I guess it's called Shagadelic.
I mean, it's 80s as far as I could tell, unless he switched the color out. Now, here, let me tell you something I learned, okay? Because this was fucking confusing for me. Sorry if anybody's in the chat who doesn't like swearing. My bad. Okay. I know we got a young fellow who likes to watch us. Owen, right? I mailed him some swear.
Yeah. Owen,
but anyway,
sure.
So you got camo carbon, you got rockin' blocks, right? And I was confused about the relationship between the two because they're like the same products, but on two different websites, and sometimes the same color has two different names.
I think they're the same company.
They're not.
What?
So I learned it from the horse's mouth. So Rockin' Blocks, that's Andy. He also sells like Cowood and stuff. Now, he's got a knife shop in San Diego.
And and he sells Now Pack, right? Is it Now Pack?
Correct.
My buddy Ev, Knife Ninja EDC, he actually met up with him like last week. And he was telling me this guy like invented camo carbon and shit.
So he's at all the shows, Andy. He's super cool. So the guy, where his shop is, the dude who actually manufactures the carbon fiber has a facility nearby or whatever. And he was making parts for like high-end bicycles and whatever other function. And Andy was like, dude, we need to make that for knife scales. And so Andy's the one who was buying it to be cut down to be sold to custom makers. And he is the one who called it camo carbon. Like the manufacturer didn't call it camo carbon. I think, if I'm wrong here, of course, this is coming secondhand, but Andy said he's the one who called it camo carbon. He's the one who brought it to the knife market, and he would just buy it from the guy wholesale, mark it up, and sell it as knife scales. Well, stuff gets popular enough, the manufacturer himself has the website camocarbon.net, and he makes sheets and sells them direct. And he gives certain names to certain colors that are different from the names that Andy gives to the exact same colors. And I was like, dude, you guys got to get on the same page. I'm like, it's kind of annoying for me. I'm like, call it neon yellow.
But then he sells to that guy?
So the guy who makes it, we'll call him Camo Carbon. He still sells to Andy Rockin' Blocks, so he can sell to the knife community, but he also now sells direct off his website. So he's competing with his dealer.
Okay, so Shagadelic is what the manufacturer calls it?
If you go to camocarbon.net, is that color called Shagadelic?
That explains why their Instagram has like no content. Because it's probably the manufacturer who has the Instagram.
The Camo Carbon Instagram is owned by the manufacturer. The Rockin' Blocks Instagram is owned by Rockin' Blocks. Rockin' Blocks has been selling Camo Carbon to the knife community a lot longer than Camo Carbon has been selling Camo
That's
Carbon.
That's where, so I had these made by a dude named Carbonized Spencer in Utah. Mm-hmm. And he was telling me he orders from Rockin' Blocks. So that makes sense.
Yeah, but the Rockin' Blocks calls that color 80s. And they used to call it rad.
That's what I asked him for, 80s. But today I posted on Instagram asking people to recommend camo carbon colors for the US growler that we're doing. And a lot of people were saying Shagadelic. And I looked it up on camo carbon, and it's this shit. So it's called Shagadelic or 80s fat carbon or camo carbon as far as I can tell.
On the Camo Carbon website, he's got one called Rockin' 80s. So as in like Rockin' Blocks 80s. No,
well, the Camo Carbon Instagram has one that says Shagadelic that looks just like this. So what the fuck?
And that was my issue that I was telling Andy. I'm like, you guys make it freaking hard to know what's what. And I'm like, as someone who's shopping, for my production knives, I want to know what exactly my options are. So anyway, I like to bitch and moan about stuff like that. Someone asked if I had party in the back, business up front. That is correct, Luke. I'm growing out my mullet for you guys.
That's sick.
I do it for you guys.
So I have I think I have 7 sets of this 80s whatever the fuck it is. It looks like
Rad,
this.
80s Shagadelic. Shit. It looks great.
It's so sick on this knife too, especially in black. Yeah. So I have 7 sets of those, and then I don't even know if I have any purple left because I took this set.
Is that purple haze?
So this is purple camo carbon, as far as I know.
Oh, okay. They got a color called purple and violet, I know.
Yeah, that's this. That's this for sure. Look at it.
Okay. Yeah,
you can see the darker purple and then the kind of lighter. That's the violet. Makes sense. We also just call it what we want, you know what I mean? And then I have the Zircotai backspacer here. So anyway, I have 7 of those 80s, and then I have 3 sets of GL Hansen Mexican blanket, my Carta stuff. And I think that might be it.
What do you do with them?
He only sent me so many, so.
What do you do with them? Just sell them?
Yeah, I'm going to drop them tomorrow at noon on the website.
Awesome.
Yep. He said 7 sets. Yep. 7 sets, dude. I don't think it's going to be like some crazy mad rush to go get them, dude. There's not that. I mean, at this point, though, Blade HQ, I think, is the last dealer with stouts. And I know I sent them they bought like 25 at Blade Show. I don't know how many they've sold. But once those are gone, that's it. The stout, that first run is done. That's 600 knives done. We don't have any more hidden in a box anywhere or whatever. So if you want one, go to Blade HQ and get one now. And I have no plans to bring that version of the knife back right now. I'm talking to an OEM about a V2 with some updates, but it's a different OEM. So that's where I'm at with that. So kind of cool to almost have those all sold.
Yeah.
Technically, I have them all sold, but
you just want them in customers' hands. It's nice when they're out in the wild.
Yep. But I showed you this, right? I also have the prototype of our design with Urban EC, the barley.
I can't wait to check it out. You know, one detail that I really like about that, aside from the fact that it has a finger choil, which is super unique, is when you have it closed, the corner of the tang is hidden.
What, up top?
Yeah, like look at a Cyborg, this corner right here.
Oh.
I guess it's not the corner of the tang, it's the corner of the spine. It's
Good
not
point.
technically. Yeah, and so for people who like to carry raw dog in their pocket with no sheath, like this can be a jeans ripper. I'm surprised none of you reviewers have complained about it yet. And it's really hard to hide this on a slip joint because you have to bring the bolster way out. It's just hard from a design standpoint to do it sometimes. You end
it's
up
like
with like a
just
really
about flush.
Yeah, I'm sure Colin did that on purpose.
It might be like a hair proud, but no.
But I mean,
really
it's like it's a marked difference from any of mine, and it's a really nice detail.
Yeah, that and the we did the long pull on both sides.
Yep.
Which I don't know if that's normal either.
It's not on a traditional knife.
And then obviously the choil is very different. And I was cutting cardboard with this last night, dude. And you can just fucking you don't have to even worry about it. You can't fuck yourself up, really. I mean, I'm not gonna say it's foolproof, but unless you're doing something extremely stupid, this thing is gonna be locked in.
Yeah, it's like a safety mechanism having your finger there.
Yeah. And then the other thing is the thinness. It's 0.31 of an inch.
How does that
that's
compare
where this knife began.
How does that compare to the Bear?
So the Bear is 0.27.
Okay.
So it's close. And that's literally how this knife was born. I had the Bear, and I just loved how fucking thin it was. That was the coolest thing to me because it just disappeared in your pocket, right? And that was when I kind of was like, all right, we got to do a thin ass slip joint. And then I drew it up, and then we were like, shit, we should add a finger choil. And then it kind of just went from there. And then you helped us get the geometry right to get that walk and talk. I already talked to Urban. They agree that we should bump it up on the spring tension. So it's going to be a little bit stiffer, which I think is going to fucking dial this thing in.
If you'll be happy with it at that point, then it's good.
I'm happy with it now, honestly. After spending, a few days with breaking it in, now it's it's fucking money. It's just, it's not as stiff as like the Cyborg, or it's still not this.
Right.
And it's hard for me when I sit there and I go, all right, I got my prototype, and I'm gonna, I'm judging how good it is, because that's what I do. I'm gonna nitpick the shit out of my prototype, and then I pick yours up, and I'm like, damn, it's, I'm just like, fuck, this is better. So it makes me want to make that better.
Yeah, and like, let's be careful with words because there's better, but then there's what you prefer. And what
Okay,
makes
yeah.
it doing good is how does that action feel? Not necessarily how strong is the spring, but like, is it jumpy? Does it sound right? Is it smooth?
Yeah.
Because, I got a bunch of my slip joints in front of me from my collection. And I'll tell you what, some of these really nice customs have softer springs than my
Right.
stuff. And so, and I'll stress this every chance I get. When I go to these knife shows and I see people handle slip joints who aren't accustomed to them, like those stiff springs are a little too advanced for some of those
Right.
folks. They need to get into something a little easier to operate until they acquire the skill and the comfort level. And so, like, you hand a Vampire Jack to a brand new user, or like someone who, like, an elderly person who isn't strong, or maybe a female who doesn't have the strength in their hands and forearms, might be a bit much. So, there's nothing wrong with like a 5, 6. It's just not my personal preference. But
I want like a 7, 7.5.
Yeah, 6, 7. I agree. I mean, we have a similar preference, right? We like stiffer springs, and that's why you're seeing it come through on my stuff. But I just had this reminder at that Blade West show that these might be a little too stiff for some folks, and they'll return them.
Well, for me, I want it stiffer, so that's what she said. But this design also is set up to where you should have no problem grabbing this.
That's true. You can definitely get a pinch on it, but
yeah, we can definitely go. I think we can definitely go stronger. Like it's so hard for me to judge. I'd put it at a 6, like max. I'd put it at a 6.
Well, that's why you got a prototype, right? So you can kind of fine tune it.
Well, yeah, that's the whole point. But yeah, I sent one to Casey. I sent him the blue Sagaha one, or Shagaha. Is that what he's calling it? I like the ones with the pattern. They look sick, but some people just like plain. So
there's some question in the chat. I saw.
I don't know if everybody buys every model. I certainly want every model. I think I've bought every one. I can't remember if I haven't. If there's any that I didn't buy one. I've definitely owned every one. That's for sure.
There's definitely a group of collectors that are getting every one. I think most people, they'll look at the catalog, identify like one or two they like, and they'll wait for that one because it's expensive, and, realistically, like there is a lot of similarity from knife to knife as far as how they feel, how the action is, the dimensions of the spring, the dimensions of the blade. So you can get a lot of satisfaction from 1, 2, or 3. But if you like to collect, I tried to make it as awesome as possible to collect everything.
Yeah, I don't think it's FOMO, dude. I think it's like absolute enjoyment. Like think about having something you love and have it slightly change and come out every month to where you can get another one. That's like fucking perfect for a knife addict. You know what I mean?
It was designed for people who enjoy collecting. And, like they don't all sell out immediately. Some of the carbon fibers, the most popular ones, will sell out, in the first hour. But if you're really trying, like you don't have to miss anything. And the micarta ones will stick around for a couple weeks. So, yeah.
I think there's like one Vampire Jack at OCD for EDC right now.
I haven't checked in a little while, but there's definitely Vampire Jacks at Freight and Lock and what's it called? Jeff Loffer's place. Oh my god.
Cutlery Shop?
Cutlery Shop, yeah.
I didn't even know you teamed up with them yet.
Yeah, they started with the Vampire.
Gotcha. G-Ball, I don't know on the slip joints. They're gonna announce a pre-order date and price soon, hopefully. And the growler for White Mountain, we are sending the wire over tomorrow, so it'll probably be like a month, and then those will drop at White. It'll probably be right around Christmas. Hopefully, that'd be perfect. Could be like a little Christmas gift to yourself.
Crispy Critter asks, which is the closest to my heart, I don't have one, honestly. Like, it's the one I'm carrying is the one that I'm drawn to. And what's weird, and I'm sure you'll go through this too, Kev, like I'm always carrying the one that's going to drop. So I carry that for that like 1 month cycle.
I have a prototype or whatever. Yeah.
It's
and different then, for me, but
yeah. But then after a while, I'm like, oh, I missed my sharpshooter. So like the one that's in the regular rotation gets put aside and I go back to the sharpshooter. And then sometimes I'm like, oh, I missed the laid back jack. And so I don't know. There's none of them I look at and I'm like, I wish I never made you. They're like my kids, even if they're a pain in the ass or something, or they didn't sell as good as you wanted, like you still love them.
Right. No, it's not going to be hollow ground. It's too thin for that. I mean, we might have been able to push that, but it's 0.08 stock. I don't think a hollow grind would have been smart on this, honestly. So it's a pretty tall blade and it's a flat.
Dude, if you're just sailing it through cardboard, you got nothing to worry about.
Yeah, but it's super thin. I measured it at like 10 thousandths on that prototype.
Oh, there you go.
It's Fradon, Fradon, Fradon lock.
Fradon. So it's a store in Syracuse, New York. They've been open for a long time. Like they sell like safes and locks and stuff. But they've been a Spyderco dealer for decades. And so they have a knife section inside their retail store and they sell stuff online. The lady who's in charge of the knives, her name is Hope. And she's like really well known in the Spyderco community and really well respected. I met her at the Blade Show. She's awesome.
Yeah.
Ian asked what's the knife that didn't sell as well as I hoped. That would be the K9. It was a slow burner, but I even think there's still like one or two left out there.
That one was I would say it was based on aesthetic, probably on that one.
I don't think it met everybody's aesthetic preferences, and
that was one that I didn't like it for it. So that was one you kind of had to handle, I guess.
I think
and once I did.
Yeah, like in a retail store, if you like when I'm at the shows and they're out, that one gets picked up a lot. That one gets handled, and people go like, "Oh, this is really nice. I love the way this feels."
Right.
But that doesn't translate online.
Yep. And that wasn't that back when you still had the one carbon fiber? So let's say, oh no, you had two. You had a twill too.
Yeah, that was the first one I introduced a second carbon fiber, but twill is never going to be as popular as the fat carbons. It's just too common.
We know, Casey. I thought it was your favorite, man.
The walk and talk on the K9 is so good, and the blade grind is so good.
They all are, though. That's what's so crazy about it. There's no bad one. There's not even a mediocre one.
No, and the reason is because, like I stay inside, there's a box and I stay inside it, like there's parameters that as long as I stick to them and I get a prototype and I investigate the prototype and make tweaks, I'm not guaranteed that they're going to be well received, but like you're going to get really consistent results across the product line. That's how you make a good product line, I think.
Yep. Yeah, the orange is pretty cool for the Cyborg for sure. The hot pink just stood out to me for some reason, and I'm glad I have this one. But I gotta say that toxic one is probably going to be the most popular.
I think this will go first just because it's I think green has more appeal.
Pink.
Right.
Pink is going to go because it's going to be people like me who are all over it. But you're going to have other people who just think the pink is stupid. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they're like, oh, pink. But it's
I'm a man.
Yeah. It's like, what are you, some kind of fruit? It's like, yes, I am.
And I love it.
And I'm proud of my pink knife.
Dude.
Ooh, dropped it.
With a fucking pink slip, dude. I can't wait. I was hoping to have it tonight to show it off to you, but fucking USPS.
What I find super interesting is how trying to balance, you go through the same thing. We try to balance our own preferences with sort of tempering that and going in the other direction a little bit because not everybody likes the same stuff we do, right? So like that's why I like having the dark matters with the orange, or why I liked the twill in the canine, because it's like I don't want to leave options off the table for guys that this is too much for them, you know?
Right.
And it's not that some people it's not as too much. They just don't find this attractive. They find this attractive, or they find this attractive. So it's kind of fun coming up with the choices.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why I wanted to ask people what they wanted on the growler. So I have a poll out basically right now to let the community choose 2 of the finishes.
Can I plug my Facebook group real quick?
2 of the inlays. You can do whatever, dude.
So guys, I've got a Facebook group. If you're on Facebook, I would love it if you would join. It's Jack Wolf Knives Worldwide. I got a poll on there right now, and I asked the group if I was to add a second implement to one of these knives, what would you like to see? I left 3 choices. Number 1 would be a cap lifter, which is basically a bottle opener and figure would have like a flathead screwdriver end. Second choice would be a secondary blade, but a small one, like a pen blade or a coping blade. So think about like a blade, that long, something like that. And then the third choice would be a second full-size blade.
Is there a 4th option that says leave it alone?
No, because
in that scenario, I would go cap lifter just to have it be different.
Yeah, and I thought the group would lean cap lifter just because they're super popular whenever Great Eastern Cutlery does them. And I don't ever open caps, but I just kind of like them because they look cool and they're different. They're I don't know, I just like them.
Does have a flathead.
Yeah, which I don't ever need. You could use it as a little pry tool. I guess I've used it a couple times, but the group so far has preferred a small secondary blade.
Interesting. Now here's a question. If you do that, let's say you go small blade or you go cap lifter, is it going to work to where it's easy to open, or is it going to be an absolute bear of a spring because it's is it going to have its own spring?
Going to have its own spring. So
okay, it'll be because I've handled some Great Eastern cutleries like that, and you can't even fucking open the cap lifter.
They can be depending on the model, it can be a bitch. Like, just a trick for anybody who's listening. If you have one that's hard to open, get your thumbnail in there and push it in and then up.
Yeah, see, I hate using my nail because my nails are so shitty. They just like want to bend back.
Yeah, you're a unique use case. Most people have a workable fingernail, but any secondary blade is going to have to be in there to where you have to use your nail if you still want the first one to be pinchable.
Yeah, somebody's got to solve that shit.
A double pinchable?
No, just put a one arm on the end or something so I can just grab it, pull it out.
But the way I would do it is I would add a second spring, but I would use thinner stock and flat grind it so that it wouldn't make the knife too thick overall. And hopefully that like thinner spring and thinner stock on the secondary, you can work a weaker spring out of that. So it's not, like you said, a nail buster.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I just prefer to keep it thin and have the one blade, but that's
I mean, it's my preference too, but I like to experiment with stuff.
Or even do a small blade and a cap lifter across from each other, keep it thin, and just use one spring.
That's an interesting idea. Now, to do that, you would have to have let's say, just use round numbers. If the spring is 10, then each blade would have to be 5, and you would have like spacers in the opposite corners. Otherwise, they bump into each other. So they have to offset like this and come in next to each other. And then you have to have a spacer to fill the gap, which might be kind of cool.
But it'd be interesting. And then you could just make a short ass cap lifter. Make it so let's say you got to divide that 10 up. you just give that a 3, and then you go 7 on the blade. Because all you got to do is be able to grab the thing and open it, and then you got a little bottle opener thing. It doesn't have to be longer than this.
Yeah.
Anyway, write it down.
I'm gonna play with it. But if you guys are on Facebook, I love it if you join the group. I'm gonna start doing some giveaways soon. I'm gonna start giving prototypes away. I hooked up with someone locally who has a laser, and so I'm gonna laser mark the prototypes.
That's
and
put a mirror in there.
Yeah. I'm gonna start marking prototypes with the letter P, super creative, and start coming up with some fun giveaways in there.
All right, I'll take one. Thanks.
But you're gonna have to. It's gonna be like driven around engagement and doing stuff in the group. The beard comb, obviously that was kind of cool. Like on Great Eastern Cutlery did it on the, what do they call it, the Urban Jack, and the sausage, the beer and sausage knife. But
yeah, they had one with a fork.
That was the beer and sausage. Had a beard comb, a fork, and a knife, I think. Now scissors, of course, scissors would be dope, but scissors are extremely hard to make. Like that's the Swiss makes scissors, little scissors, and that's where that's gonna end. I mean,
look at Leatherman; their scissors blow, and they've been doing it for fucking ever.
Because what people don't understand about scissors is that scissors are not just like two blades that run side by side. They're like, they have a camber. They're like curved, and then when they run past each other, they only touch in like one spot. So to engineer and manufacture scissors is like a real difficult thing to accomplish.
Market.
Appreciate that, Dan. Thank you, man.
Market prototype, or PJ for prototype Jack.
I'm just going to do the letter P. We figured out the font size. We put it on the tang. There's really no good place to put it because the two spots on the tang in the center are already taken. But I just don't – some of them are going to look exactly like production knives, basically. So I wanted them to be marked.
I mean, you could probably send them to somebody to do like custom scales, fit the scales and hand finish them to fit and everything and change them up so they're different.
Well, they're going to have a P on them.
A PP?
Yep.
I didn't even know I still had this thing. Did I ever show you this fixed blade I got?
No, who made that?
Baltic Blades, a dude in Lithuania. Little scalpel knife. It's like...
Is it chisel ground?
What?
Is it chisel ground or is it got a bevel on each side?
No, it's normal. I'll call it normal. Fucking tiny, though.
It's small.
Smaller than a chickadee. But I don't know what to do with it. So they sent it to me to review, and I did a video. I like it a lot, but I can't fucking carry it because it has no way to carry it.
Oh, it needs to be a neck knife, probably.
Yeah, but then it's like it's too big for a neck knife, in my opinion. Like, I wouldn't carry that. Like, I wish it just had a little belt loop thing, like a mini, version of the belt loop thing, and then I could just carry it. But
you might be able to make one relatively easily with just a couple pieces of the Kydex hardware and a strap. I don't know.
Yeah, I guess I'm just not going that far. So
yeah, I don't blame you. It's like don't give me a project. But
I mean, I like it.
Your other option would be deep pocket or back pocket for that thing.
Yeah, he was saying people just put it in their pocket. So
yeah,
I'll probably give it away at some point. I don't know. It is cool though. What else did I get this week? I got this raccoon from Vosteed. They sent this in. Little button lock. Probably one of the better button locks from the budget companies.
What does that cost?
$60.
Yeah, man, there's some really good options out there under $100.
Yep. There's about to be another one at $85 right here.
I like that knife, dude.
Won't come with scratches on it. Yep.
You have to charge extra for scratches.
This is the one we did the US version of. So we got the budget one dropping next month. And then we're probably going to do the pre-order next month for the US one. I might wait until after New Year's to do it. I don't know yet.
We got 73 people in here. Hey, I'm noticing we got 31 likes. So that means more than half of you guys have not burned the calories to put your finger on the thumbs up or click the mouse. So hook us up over here.
Hook us up.
Hook us up. We need it. We need the love.
Doing a better job than I am. I never asked for likes or subscribers or anything. It's funny.
YouTuber.
You look at like analytics and shit. There's like basically half the people that watch the videos don't subscribe. That's crazy to me. Half. I'm guessing it's because those half are like a random half that kind of like go, ebb and flow. It's a different half every time. So they're just catching one video because of the algorithm or whatever, and then they peace out.
Yeah. Or are they people who don't have an account? Like, can you browse YouTube without an account?
Yeah.
So those people can't subscribe if they don't have an account.
But then they also can't get recommended shit.
I know, but there's a lot of people out there. So
they probably just get on and search and shit.
Yeah. Or use it casually.
Too much to think about. Yo, what up? Sharpen Blade in the house. And Corey. What's up, dudes? What's up, dudes? Yeah, this thing sounds wicked, too. Got some tingage. I like it a lot. I want a custom really bad. I've seen a couple with like butterscotch micarta. Yeah, here's a question, guys. If you could do a custom Strix, right? What would your scale material be? Would you go like my brain thinks this would be fucking awesome. Like if you got a darker finish handle and then you put this shit on it, that would be absolutely crazy. Or that butterscotch micarta. I've seen some like that.
Some Westinghouse.
That shit looks good too, dude.
Yep.
I don't know, man. There's so many options. Makes you, maybe we could all buy two, Let's go check out his website real quick. Sparrow. Let's give him some advertisement.
Elephant ivory.
What's that?
So they call it African goat horn, which is the code name for elephant ivory.
Yeah, but who made it? Is it a...
This is Brett Dowell,
okay,
Oklahoma guy.
So real quick, here are the options. So there's... Oh, fuck me. Sorry. That black one with the Dama, dude. So here's the problem. The reason I never get Dama steel, and I'll ask... I think Casey has this one on the way to him. The reason I never get it is because on these production knives, they always make it like gray. It's not black. Does that make sense?
It's just like how they're etching it or whatever.
Yeah, it needs to be etched darker, and they don't do it right. So it ends up looking gray, which doesn't really go well with a black handle. You know what I mean? So I don't know. That's how I feel about that shit.
I've tried the Dama steel and stuff. It's not I don't prefer it. I don't dislike it, but if I just had the choice, I'd rather just have a stonewash or a satin finish.
So I would want this handle and that backspacer with that blade. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that'd be fly.
So I'm probably just going to get the all tie then. The micarta looks pretty sick too, honestly, though, but I like those kind of like semi-speed holes.
Yeah.
Like I just made my decision. This one's coming up on the 20th, and guys, there's no limit. So like you don't have to rush and try to beat the bots or whatever. He's leaving it open for 5 days, and then whatever gets ordered gets ordered.
How many or how much is he charging for the different variants? Show me that drop down up there.
Yeah, so you're looking at $345 for this guy, and this is the only one with a stonewash, which I do think is odd. If it was me, I would have done the stonewash on the micarta, because I feel like the satin is a little more bougie and bougie carbon fiber. Micarta is more of a user. You know what I mean?
I don't know. I could see it the other way though, because the micarta is kind of rough cut, and so the satin looks like a rough cut. And then
it does look good, that's for sure.
Yeah, and then I think full TI handles look good with stonewash.
So 345, full tie 336.
Interesting. It's like, why?
He must have plugged in a margin, maybe.
Yeah.
And then 680. Man, it baffles me sometimes when these prices on these. Could it be that much more? I mean, I've never priced out a Damasteel blade or anything, so I don't know.
But what kind of pocket does it have? Look at the pocket clip.
It's Timascus.
Dude, that Timascus is so expensive. Have you ever seen how much a sheet of that costs?
So I can tell you right now that Best Tech charged us. This is QSP, but for a Zircuti backspacer like this, Best Tech is charging us $48.
There's a difference, though, between, was that Chinese material or American material?
It's Chinese. But
yeah, so
if this is Zircuti. That's Timascus. That's not, that's lower technically on the, but he's getting a clip and a backspacer.
Yeah.
So, let's call it $100 right there for that. I see it. I get it.
The 4x6 sheets of that stuff from Chad Nichols is like $600 for a piece.
That's this shit. But
yeah, that shit is loot.
Let's talk about that. This knife has black pearl camo carbon. It has Chad Nichols Zircuti on the backspacer, the clip, pivot collars, and the thumb studs. This was $485.
Damn. What kind of steel?
20 CV.
Well, is that where they save the money?
Yeah, obviously you got to add. So you're paying $200 for Damasteel then, in our scenario here.
That's that knife is sick. He kept the price down by using 20 CV, right?
No.
I don't know nothing about
versus
steel.
Damasteel?
Or just from let's say an M390 or an S90V or like one of those.
M390 and 20 CV are the same thing.
Okay, it's not a budget steel. I don't know about steels. You got to teach me.
So
I don't know about steels.
All right, so M390, I'll give you a little lesson. M390 is made by Bowler in Austria.
Right.
20 CV is made by Crucible in the United States. 204P is made by Carpenter in the United States. CTS 204P. They all have the exact same chemical formulation.
Okay.
But you see a lot less 204P. I don't know if that's because people order less or Carpenter makes less or what. I notice a lot less Carpenter steel out there than other stuff. And then Crucible, they do sell to China. So here's another fun fact. Best Tech, we just did the order for the Buzz. We switched. We did M390 on our prototypes, and we found out they could do 20 CV because I saw somebody else did a knife with them in 20 CV. So I was like, why didn't you offer us 20 CV? Like they had M390 Magna Cut, which they no longer can do because Crucible won't ship Magna Cut over there. I don't know if like Laren made some kind of deal with them or that they just don't want to, or I don't know. Maybe they want to keep it as a U.S. kind of custom knife material. Who knows? But Magna Cut, and then they had some lesser stuff. But they never offered us 20 CV. So then when I asked, they were like, yeah, we can do 20 CV, same heat treat. Everything is M390. It's $2 cheaper per knife to have the U.S. steel. So to me, that was like, that's weird. But I guess M390 is not Chinese. It's Austrian. So maybe it costs more to import that. But I thought that was interesting. But yeah, it's essentially the same thing.
Okay. Right on.
So anyway, I think that seems a little pricey, but it's a full dress basically. I mean, you got Damascene, you got Damascus all over it. So it makes sense. I mean, his other pricing looks legit. Like, if I was smart when we did the buzz, we should have charged what he's charging. But I was trying to keep it reasonable because I like the market sucks right now, and I was just trying to be smart and get the order in and whatnot. But I should have charged more for that knife based off of what it costs. So his pricing's good. Cool. Like that's the norm now, guys. 350 is basically you're almost like benchmark at this point for a good, like quality, well-made OEM knife from China. It's around 350 now. If you're using Best Tech, Riot, QSP, whoever, and you're doing titanium and 20CV M390, whatever, right? It's gonna be right at 350 now, and that's just kind of how it is.
350 to 400, depending on maybe scale materials or accoutrement or whatever,
and whose name is on it.
Right.
You know, like this dude, it's his first production knife. He's very popular, but like he's not Brian Nadeau. Like so he gave a reasonable price. I think it's solid. But you see other guys will do the same knife and it would have cost $400 to start with. You know what I mean? Right. So till the price comes down and we are all stuck with these knives that are now worth $250. What do you mean now worth? If it's a good knife, you should be able to sell it for what you paid or a little bit less. That's normal. You can't, like, you go to the car dealership, you buy a car, you can't expect to turn around and sell that thing for the same price tomorrow. Like, you lose money buying new. It's just how it goes. Now, a lot of times with knives, you don't, honestly. But I think that's more the knife's fault at that point. If you can't sell it for around what you paid.
Well, the secondary market moves, like it fluctuates. I mean,
right.
The secondary market has been so strong all through COVID, and
now it's dead.
It's slowing. Right, but it's correcting. Like it couldn't stay the way it was forever. It's not. Doesn't work that way.
Right. Yeah, and I mean, I don't know. But I think it all makes sense. I think everybody has to adjust to higher pricing, and whether that means we buy one less knife every month, then
Right. And the manufacturers aren't charging any less to do these projects. If anything, they're going to charge more.
No, they are charging more.
They are charging more than they charge a year before the
price. Right. Like the price of putting the Stout into production versus the Buzz was like significant, honestly. Now we're talking about a different OEM, but it's just how materials have gone sky high. So they got to charge in return. And here's a question I'd like to discuss real quick with you while I have you, because you're an intellectual like myself. So I was talking about this in a video, right? So we have the people who are like, fuck this. I'm not buying Chinese knives. Well, fuck that. They use slave labor, blah, 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 right? So you have those people. And remind me to tell you about you were talking on that podcast about how you think they're all working in the same place. Bring that up again, because I have a point on that. But you have the guy who's like, fuck that, Chinese, they, right? They use slave labor or whatever. Then you have the guy on the other end who's like, yeah, I don't care if it's Chinese, but it's fucking too expensive. Right? So you have that guy who always wants to pay $100 for a $200 knife made in China. And then you have the guy who's like slave labor, blah, blah, right? So here's something. Do we ever think about this? Is there, when you look at a Wii knife or whatever, where they charge $250 for a knife we think should be $200, could they be charging more because they want to give their employees better, like, a better experience? Like, do they want to have, I don't know. I don't know what that would be over there. I don't know if they have like benefits, but like maybe a cleaner workspace or, better fucking tools, that kind of shit. Like, do we ever think about, is that a thing? Like, or are they all just in squalor,
Human beings are human beings. And if the demand for these knives are high and they're all coming out of this town, okay, what are workers going to do? They're going to go where they can get the best working condition and the best wage. It's what they're going to do. So if company A realizes like, well, we can charge more, these Americans will pay more. So that way we can pay the best people in this town more and steal them from this other shop. It's exactly what's going to happen. It's the same thing that happens in America. It's like you want, Chris pays people and an American wage, and that's what reflects in the price of the knife. The Chinese knife, they're paying a wage, and their wages are going up over there. Most certainly, they're industrializing.
So that's just something I wanted to bring up and maybe have it be food for thought for people, because I think that's really the only thing you hear is either fuck that slave labor, or you hear it's not cheap enough. And it's like, what about thinking about it? Like maybe they fucking, you know what I mean? Not a chance in hell. The money goes into the owner's pocket. Lowest price for cheapest labor is tool of the trade. I don't think that's how communism works.
Obviously, there's money that funnels up to the government, but they still have wages over there, and they still migrate between shops. Like I hear that all of these people are leaving, they're going somewhere else. Like I don't think it is like a slave system over there.
So I can tell you, I talked to multiple people over there, mostly through the fidget stuff I've gotten into, because there's a dude, Big White EDC, has a website where you can buy fidgets. I talk to him regularly. There's a guy, NJT Hand Power. He has a Facebook group. He makes like the coins I really like and shit. And I chat with him. And there's some other ones that own shops that make fidgets and shit. And they mostly just seem like fucking regular people. Like I had this one lady, she owns a shop over there. She makes fidget spinners. She sent me like video of her and her kid just like at home, on the phone playing whatever, or they're like on a road trip and the kid's in the back seat singing a song while they're driving. Like they're fucking normal people. They're not like locked in a fucking cage or whatever. So I don't know. I think we have some kind of like interpretation of it that might be wrong. Now, is there a subsect of people that are treated like, I don't fucking know.
I mean,
I can tell you I've seen video from OEMs showing me the knives being made or whatever, and I've seen a dude sitting there like in flip-flops fucking grinding knives, like, but maybe they just like to wear flip-flops. Like, I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, you've got massive cities,
Right.
You've got infrastructure. You've got like state-of-the-art CNC machines over there. You have engineers. Like, it's just not this giant concentration camp that everybody makes it out to be. It can't be. That's too unsophisticated. It doesn't make sense. So I don't know. Go ahead.
The other thing I want to bring up was, so I talked to this company, not Shieldon, Sativian, and they sent me a knife to review, and I was talking to a guy on Instagram, and I asked him some questions because in a group chat we were talking about it. Like one person thought Shane Gables thinks they all are in the same shop. They all, they all use the same machines, and it's all the same company basically making your knives, but it's just whatever brand they slap on the box. So I literally asked this dude, and I was like, yo, like, are you guys all in the same place? Like, and what he told me was basically, yes. He said, we share machines. We all use the same machines, the same whatever. And it comes down to design and packaging, basically, is how it's separated. Now, I don't think that is true for every brand. Like, I think Riot probably has their own fucking warehouse and like machines and shit. They have to. There's no way that you're getting the stuff you're getting from Riot made in the same place that you're getting shit from X.
Well, okay, the statements are too absolute. Okay, there's nuance. So, for example,
Right.
if they're all situated in the same town,
We all know they're in Guangdong, Yangjiang.
They're all there.
Yeah.
Now the owners, this is how it would work here. So
I want to do that, Ant.
This is how it's going to work there. The owners who are making big decisions about how a lot of dollars get spent are probably communicating on a regular basis over dinner about what their problems are and how they can help each other solve their problems. Because ultimately, they're all working for the man over there, right? Now, there is some, they don't have everybody as slaves. So, like, this guy has these guys on his payroll. This guy has these guys on his payroll. But if it's a cottage industry is what I believe. Right. So if Riot, for whatever reason, loses a guy who operates the machine that's cutting titanium scales and he's got to shut the machine down because there's nowhere there to push the buttons, he's going to ask his buddy to program his machine and make those parts for him, right? If I've got to back up, if I got too many blades to grind in here, right, then I need someone to grind these fucking blades so I can get them out the door. So I'm going to ask this guy, you know? And so I think there's probably a lot of nuanced job and task sharing over there. Why the fuck wouldn't there be?
Right. But I also think that a lot of the brands, like the small fucking Amazon brands and shit like that, they're all the same. They're all it's the same shop, same everything. And they just slap a different logo on it or whatever. But when you're talking about like Riot and whatever, those are, I think, a little bit bigger and separated in a way. But yes, I'm sure they all utilize the same people and tools and whatever.
Or they subcontract with each other when they need something. But yes, they're like the knife industry is huge. That's why you have a very large manufacturing footprint in that town, because there's a lot of, we're just the US, man. There's knives all over Europe. There's knives think of how many people are in Asia. Like, have you guys ever looked at how many people are in Asia, right? Like, China's making knives for the world, not just for the United States. And so 100%. And I knew it when I saw all the prototypes I bought from all those different manufacturers of the exact same models. It was impossible not to notice, like, this knife here from this guy, the blade is unique, but the titanium is fucking exactly the same. Like, you hold them next to each other and you look, it's like these fucking things were made in the same machine.
Yeah, see, that was not my experience. But
not everything was like that.
Right. But I think another difference is, did you send them like straight up CAD files and say, make this?
Yes.
That's probably a difference. You send like, so for the stout, we did have CAD files actually. So never mind. Change that. We've actually had CAD files for everything.
But like
I don't know. I was thinking maybe
on the blast, like the finish on the springs, like the etches, like there's all these little things you can look at, and some of them were markedly different, and some of them were like it's the same thing, like it's the same. So I'd have to be convinced otherwise. I believe that it's like a cottage industry, and they're job sharing when necessary in order to get work done and get paid.
Which you should, unless you're competitors.
Right, but the thing that's different from them versus us is it is communism. They all work for the fucking man.
That's my point. So it doesn't matter, really.
Right, you're not trying to, like, here.
And I think at this point, the demand is so high, you don't really have competition. It's just trying to keep up.
Right.
So it doesn't matter. Like, you know what I mean? You're not fighting. You don't have two companies fighting for 100 orders. You know, you have endless orders and, 10 companies. So it doesn't matter. So,
right.
Anyway,
interesting
all of it is interesting to think about.
I will
did have a giveaway. What?
I'm going to go over there once this
Thank
COVID,
you, Ludex.
when the COVID shit gets
yeah,
what's
it's fucked up over there.
Oh, totally. I'm not going over there until the quarantines and the lockdowns and all that stuff is over with.
Why are they still all fucking crazy over there?
I don't know. I mean, it could just be a giant social experiment to see how much control they can exert over all those people.
Well, they're doing a good job.
Sure.
So wait, you're planning to go visit the OEM?
Oh, absolutely, dude. I can't wait. I would already have been there if this wasn't going on, because that's what I like to do. I like to see things with my eyes. I like to meet people. I like to, I don't want to say size people up. That's not what I'm trying to say, but I get a better understanding of how everything works when I can visualize it and be somewhere.
Let me know when you go, dude. I'll come with you.
Well, I'm going to put a blindfold on
you can blindfold me for the part when you go to your shop.
I have to put a bag on your head.
Yeah, I'll go visit my own places. I'm just saying, let me know.
All right. It'd be fun. It'd be really interesting to go over there.
I would love to go in there and fucking record that shit. Be all YouTubing the knife world from inside the OEM. Come on.
You would break the fucking internet, dude.
Yeah. For real. How has nobody done that?
Because they probably won't let you.
Yeah, probably. Okay, so giveaway. I have this. So this is what I put together. If you don't have a stout, you should go to Blade HQ and get one. I got a set of copper infused carbon fiber scales for the stout here. So if you don't have one, I guess you could always sell these to somebody who does. I got a little titanium key ring. Got some KPL rust sticks. I got this knife oil from M3 Tactical. They wanted me to test. It's called knife oil.
That's hella creative.
It does not give you a viscosity, but I kind of put it on something, and it seems very, very light. So he said it would work on pivots and everything, and it's food grade, food safe, all that shit, which is kind of cool, and some stickers. So that's the giveaway.
Dude, Ant said, where to go? He said knife meetup in China.
Yeah, we should do it. We should do it. CCP is a no travel zone for little old me. Yeah. I mean, if I had a lot of never seen again. Yeah, for sure, Steve.
You definitely run the risk of not coming home, but I like to travel.
Yeah, I think it would be a good experience. I mean, if you're doing a lot of business with somebody in particular, for sure. Because your business kind of hinges on them, literally. So
I mean, relationships are important. If you make the effort to go shake someone,
they're not gonna they're probably not gonna let you get lost because you're the money cow.
Right. I go away, so does the gravy train.
Right.
But it would be super fascinating. We don't, we could sit here and wonder about it all we want. We have no idea.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm trying to think of a good analogy. How it's like Blade Show, right?
Dude.
For example, you think Blade Show, you see this vision of Blade Show in your head, but then you go there and it's not like what you think it is.
What do you mean? I thought it was like a bunch of knife people with knives to sell.
It is, but I guess what I'm trying to say is I think a lot of people work it up in their head to be this crazy
amusement park.
It's more manageable than people think it is,
Right. Yeah.
So I'm just trying to say some things you have to go experience them to understand what they are. And that's what I'm looking forward to doing. So
it's thinned out mineral oil. Cool. Yeah, I mean, it seems like that, kind of. I don't know. Whoever wins it should test it out because I haven't had a chance. And whenever I do, I'm like, do I really want to use this new thing on my knife that I just put skiffs in? And like, I don't want to have to take it apart 2 days later again. And I like thicker oil in general. I put skiffs in this little fucker. It's hilarious.
Hey, Kev, have you ever been anywhere in Asia?
I have not. Nope.
Has anyone in the chat ever been to Asia?
Been to Europe and Mexico, Canada. I think that's about it.
I've been to Singapore, Hong Kong, Kuala Lumpur. Like, you realize how fucking big the world is when you go to some of those places, man. There are a lot of people over there. And like Singapore and Hong Kong, like those are some sophisticated places with a lot of money and a lot of things to just take in. And it's like, it's not third world in some of those places. Like it's overwhelming to see some of those places. David said he's been to Ohio. Nice.
Nice, Josh. I agree. I've been to Ohio. Nice. I bet it's huge. My old company, the buyers would go over to buy home goods. Said the buildings were like a mile long, and that was just for one style of product. Yeah. I mean, it is fucking huge. They got how many billion people?
I think 2 in China. And like,
yeah, Dubai.
There's just a lot of people in Asia. Like something like 80% of the world's population lives in this circle over there that encompasses the Philippines, India. And China. Yeah. You know, there's an island in the Philippines, I think it is. There's like as many people in the United States is on this fucking little island over there. Sumatra? No. Yes, dude. Sumatra. I'm going to look it up.
300 million people in Sumatra?
Almost.
That is crazy to think about.
No, it's 60 million. Yeah. But maybe it's the other island. Oh, man. It's late. I'm getting my facts screwed up.
Yeah, you're lying, motherfucker. What time is it, 11?
There's a lot of fucking people on an island.
They make good coffee, apparently.
Many people live in Canada, I think.
It's like Germany's like 80, I think. Canada's probably 100, maybe. I don't know.
What's the island called that has Jakarta on it?
Jakarta? Sri Lanka? I'm just making shit up. Madagascar. I don't know any islands over there. I don't have any patches, dude. I only got one left. It's in reserve for whatever. By the way, you never sent me a patch, dude.
I've still got it for you.
I've been meaning to ask you, but then I'm like, I feel weird asking you for this patch because I'm like,
oh no, I got it. It's just sitting on my desk. Okay, the island of Java has 145 million people on it. Look how big it is on the map, dude. Can you imagine that kind of Java? That's where Jakarta is. It's in Indonesia.
What's up with them? They make a lot of fucking coffee over there.
In Indonesia?
Keeps all those people going, I guess. Yeah, Indonesia's huge, I think. For sure.
It's just like a bunch of islands, but
there's more than 100 people up here, Kevin. You know what I meant? 100 million, fucker. He's a snarky motherfucker.
They're on top of you, bro.
I know.
Kev, hold on.
I'm gonna mail all the time.
I got the patch for you, and I got a couple extra cloths.
Did you see me cut that thing up?
No.
You gotta watch I did a video on Leatherman's or something, and I had to cut something to test it, and I finally cut that green one up, threw it away.
Man, dude, that thing's a Hall of Fame.
Retired it.
Rag, bro.
Yeah, dude. That thing made it over a year and a half almost.
I would say that's a testament to the quality of those things.
Yep. Fucking, that thing got abused, dude. Yeah, I need a pink one, dude. Pink one would be sick. But I use them, so it's like, whatever.
Yeah, I just wanted you to have a couple of users.
There's so much, dude. They're really good for cleaning your glasses too.
They're the best for cleaning glasses. I have in my drawer over there, dude. It's like my son, he wears glasses. I swear in 24 hours, his glasses look like he dunked them in Vaseline. There's so much smudges on them
Yeah,
every
dude. Mine
day.
are disgusting.
My wife can't stand it. So when he gets in the shower, we freaking snake his glasses and clean them. He's like, "Why did you do that again?" It's like, so you can see, bro.
How old is he?
10. He's mad that we do it. It's like, why do you get mad? It's like, I should make you do it.
Right. That's hilarious.
Yeah, he's funny.
Look at Taiwan.
How many people?
Taiwan is a whole fucking topic with China, because in China they don't distinguish Taiwan as a separate country.
Correct. There's 23
but
million.
Taiwan is independent, or they say they are anyway. And I talked to somebody over there, and I was like, "Yeah, like, is this stuff made in Taiwan or China or whatever?" And she was like, "It is China." I'm like, "What? No." I'm like, "Is it Taiwan or China?" She's like, "No, Taiwan, like that's China. Like, it's in China. Those are Chinese people." And I'm like, "Okay, that's not what they think." It was
Taiwan.
pretty funny.
What's interesting about Taiwan is the chip plants that are there. Like, have you ever read about the significance of the mega factories they have over there that make the microchips for the entire world?
No.
It's out of control, dude. They've got, I forget what they call them, like gigafactories or something. And they're the only country that's making these state-of-the-art chips that you need for everything. And the Taiwanese companies are starting to build chip plants in the US. They're building one here in Phoenix. It's on like, I forget, like, I don't know, almost a square mile of land. And it's like $11 billion or something. And there's like 100 cranes out there building this thing. And it's like, holy shit.
That's crazy. I need to try to find an OEM over there, because this is the weird thing. Have you ever heard of a Taiwanese OEM? Like, have you ever heard the name of a Taiwanese OEM?
I have the contact, bro.
Is it just one?
It's a dude who he's the guy who has all the relationships, and I have his contact, so I'll give it to you.
Yeah.
But over there, like when you work with those guys, they're set up for like mass production. So higher MOQ, but lower price point. But like, they can service like CRKT, like Spyderco, like they can make you 50,000 knives. Right. You know what I mean? They can make you 100,000 knives.
They're like not making 300-piece runs.
No, fuck no. Probably 1,500 at the least.
So that's kind of weird, because I know Leon Ma's using them for his thing. You think he's ordering that many?
I don't know. All I know is that's general. There's always exceptions to the rule, but the way they're set up over there, this is from all the digging I do to learn about shit.
Yeah, sure.
They have these fucking gigantic factories, and they can pound out just hundreds of thousands of knives. So for
Quiet Gear uses them, like
for like big box brands, right? Like for shit that's in Walmart or Bass Pro. Think of
that's
the
what
unit.
I'm saying, Steve. I don't know. It's just always they say made in Taiwan. You never know the OEM.
Because because you don't work with the OEM. You work with like this broker.
Gotcha. All right. Well, send me his info. I'll hit him up just to see.
Just shoot me an email, bro, and I'll respond to it if you don't mind.
Yeah.
Taiwan is incredibly important to modern society. I agree. If that's kind of like one of the interesting things to learn about, is that's like one of the reasons that China might be hesitant to go fuck with them, is because if they like to loot, China needs access to those chips just like everybody else. They're so smart and sophisticated over there.
Well,
got a lot of respect for that.
People are going to be more likely to protect them than. So that's pretty much World War III if they go in.
Oh man.
Yeah, that would suck. But yeah, Steve, it's Taiwan that does the Demco stuff. It's the Cold Steel factory. Whoever they use, I guess. Yep, Spyderco has a tight. That's the closest you'll ever get is Taichung. Just that alone is the only info I've ever heard that it's in Taichung, but you never hear a name or anything. But Quiet Carry uses them, and I don't know what kind of quantities they would be doing. I don't think it would be crazy. Like,
well, I mean, 1,500 is not crazy, you know.
no, but I don't think the first run of waypoints was 1,500. Could have been, but I doubt it.
I mean, maybe they'd make an exception on a smaller run, but they're going to charge you more per unit. And they don't. The guy, I don't. They're not as set up for the small batch high end shit. That was what I.
Quantity also doesn't seem like, or the quality doesn't seem any better to me.
I mean, the stuff we're getting from China, this shit is what's the small batch high end stuff from China is setting the bar for quality for OEM. Right. If you need really high quality, lower price point, higher volume, that's where you get into Taiwan. Someone explained something to me I thought was super interesting. It's like the triangle, and it's like quantity, quality, and price. And like you can't have all three. So if you want quality, you're going to have you're not going to get quantity, and you're going to have a high price or something like that. Or if you want quantity, what's that?
That makes perfect sense.
Right.
If you want high quality shit, you're going to have to get less of them and probably pay more.
Right.
And if you want a lot of it, you're going to get lower quality, you know,
pay a lower price.
Yeah. And then if you want, what would the other one be? What's the third one? Price. If you want cheap as shit, quality goes down. Yeah.
Right. You can get a bunch of it and it can be cheap, but the quality is not going to be there. That whole explanation like exploded my head because like I knew that. We all know that intrinsically, but for someone to describe it as a triangle, I was like, oh, hell yeah.
That has been in its box for roughly 3 weeks now. I dropped it. Dude. Fuck. Dude, hit me up, man. Why didn't you? Yeah. You never reached out, dude. I'll help you out with that. Fuck. What kind of scale was it? How did you bust it in half? Like what? Maybe a carbon fiber, but that shit's pretty fucking strong.
Dude, you drop anything, man. You can send a shock through it and break it.
Yeah, but I don't know. Which one do you have, Josh? I have an extra set because I put on these on mine. I have a set of micarta I took off of here. I could give you that. And then I had the copper on here, and that's what I'm giving away tonight. So maybe you'll win that. I love the orange in here, man.
It pops really good. That's
I picked this specific set because it had all that orange in it. It's kind of cool. Some of them have a lot of blue. I don't love the blue, so I kind of went with one that had less. And then the clean pivots, man, dude, I'm so glad I went that route. Yeah, having those extra pivots be clean like that. To me, that looks better. Which reminds me, if anybody has a stout and you try to put the unbranded one in, it doesn't fit, hit me up. I got the replacements in from QSP. You say you have something you think is unbreakable. Let me see that for a minute. Thumbs up. I used to ride a lot at the time. There were 3 plants that did all the carbon frames.
They're talking about
giant. They're talking about bikes.
Yeah. They were saying a lot of nice bikes are made in Taiwan. I'm not surprised. Because ultimately, what do you need to have excellent manufacturing? You need the knowledge, you need the machines, you need the education, you need the engineering, and then you need the willpower to do it, you know? And
then you need people.
Right. And a lot of these countries have been, busting it now for decades. Japan, Taiwan, and now China. USA is not the only one who has the ability to do that kind of stuff.
Right.
Now, our military is funded 10 times over everybody else's or more. So I think our technology there is more advanced.
Well, you got to look at it. If you're looking at it from a standpoint, like government standpoint, what's the best thing to have like more investment in than anything else? Military.
Correct.
You know what I mean?
That way you can win the big one if you need to.
Exactly. You might not have 11 billion people, but you got the most badass fucking defense system
and the best boats in the right places.
So I don't know. So I think that makes sense.
Yeah.
You got to have a great military and some dumbass leaders, and then you're good, you know?
We seem to have that in spades.
That was the main reason that this is going to, people are going to, oh, no, never mind. I'm not even going to do it. I was going to talk about Trump for a second.
Yeah, let's just not. It's better when we leave politics out of our hobby.
Well, all right, I'm just going to say, it was the one thing about him that I think is inarguable. The guy was crazy enough to fucking do something. You know what I mean? That's all I'm gonna say. Like, that's when you have a big problem, you want somebody who's gonna fucking do something.
Right. You don't want to fuck with the guy who's unpredictable.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. He's fucking crazy.
Yeah. You don't want to over.
Yeah, like he was on like fucking Kim Jong-il's level. You know what I mean? Like, don't fuck with me. So, all right. Anyway, that's enough about that. I got a fucking headache. God damn it. All right. So, before we wrap it up, you got anything you're like excited about, or you know?
Well,
I don't know. You know what I mean? You don't have to give anything away. It could be not Jack Wolf related. That kind of shit. Just something.
Sure. Well, I'm thinking. So obviously the drop is tomorrow. That's always exciting.
Yes.
Now, I wanted to throw this out there for anyone in your audience. I have, I think, 4 green micarta cyborgs that are factory seconds, meaning like they have a small blemish. I'm doing those for 10% off. They have like tiny little stains on the blades that you can just barely see in the right light. I usually hang on to those, family and friends or whoever. But if anybody wants one of those and wants to save a couple bucks, just send me an email, support@jackwolfknives.com. I'll give you 10% off and free shipping. But it'll just be first come, first serve. And I'm not sending pictures of the different blems. You just got to trust me. They're all extremely minor. And I'm just going to pluck them out and send them to you, because otherwise it's kind of a hassle. They're all packaged up. I don't want to take them all out, take pictures of. They all look the same. You follow me. So anyway, I just wanted to offer that to you guys. Otherwise, just letting you guys know, I don't have any knife shows between now and Blade, Texas. By the way, did you get a table for Blade, Texas? Are you going to mess with that one?
Yeah, I got in, baby.
All right, good. They finally started letting people in on the wait list.
Yeah, I got on the wait. Dude, I never signed up because Colin was in charge kind of the Blade Show stuff, and he's the worst at emails. So I took over that shit, and I was like, give me a fucking table. Like, just get me on the list. You send me the contract. That bitch will be sent back in 20 fucking minutes with payment. Get me a table. And like 2 days later, like, hey, a spot opened up. And I was like, all right, sweet. So we are in at Texas, we're in at Atlanta, and we are in at Utah.
All right. Yeah.
And then next year, I think the plan's going to be 24. I'll try to go maybe hit some of the smaller shows, because I feel like I want to do the big ones because it's good for exposure, meeting dealers and shit. But like, I don't know. I get a lot of feedback that some of these smaller shows are really fun. Like, so I don't know.
Right on. Well, I'll be at Texas. I'm upgrading to a booth, so it's going to be my first booth experience. Yeah. Then I requested a booth upgrade for Atlanta. I should get that one. But between now and then, I don't have any shows. And so I will be working on new designs. between now and when I got to gear up for that show. So, of course, I'm not going to tell you guys what I'm doing because I really enjoy surprising you. And now that I've seen how awesome that is, I'm highly motivated to not tell you guys what I'm working on because I love surprising you guys. But just want to let you know I'll be designing stuff.
Oh, fuck. All right. Let me know when you get to the one that you want to collab on. All right.
We got to talk about that.
Holy shit.
I'll tell you what. It might need a lanyard on it for you.
Jesus Christ. That's the one thing I hate about these fucking Zirkutai shit. It's so slippery. I got the sweatiest fucking hands. I hate that shit.
Dude, I'm still laughing about the video you put up, and I'm glad you did it because you were poking fun at yourself. But when you put that old video up of you going like Zirkutai and Bokutai and Pukutai, you know, what is all that shit? And before long, it's like, here's the guy's flashlight. Here's the guy's fucking fidget toy.
Dog shit pie?
Yeah, dog shit. Dog shit pie. I was cracking up, dude.
XL Midnight. Dude, I don't think that needs to get any bigger, to be honest.
Big you want it, Barry McCockiner. That's a hilarious name. Have you met my friend Hugh Jesshole?
I didn't even notice the name. I was just like, oh, it's Barry McCormick. Barry McCockiner.
It's Barry McCockiner, and it's
I like that.
Richard Fitzwell.
Oh, God damn it.
How big do you want it, Barry?
Well, he likes them real big. We know that.
Apparently he does.
There you go. Hey. What's the email and price? So 10% of $275 would be $27.50. So if you deduct that shit, you're looking at $247.50. Did I get that right?
I don't know. You did that too much for me. $275.
You were the numbers guy.
$247.50. I mean, dude, fucking impressive.
Math class.
That was good. But I like to use spreadsheets because your head calculator is faster than mine. Yeah, it'd be $247.50 shipped and insured. If you're in Arizona, you're going to get hit for sales tax, but anywhere else you won't.
Yeah, I hate that shit.
Yeah,
that reminds me. I got a business question for you. So I've kind of transferred all product to me, and I've been shipping it from here, but we have everything set up in Georgia, so we collect sales tax from people in Georgia, right? And when I ship, I have the Georgia address as the return. So, like, do I need to fucking switch that? I mean, I can switch the location to PA. Then I got to start charging tax in PA, probably.
Do you want the technical answer or just like what you should do?
Yeah, both.
Okay, the technical answer is you have what's called a nexus when you have a physical presence somewhere. So by the fact that you're working in PA and shipping out of PA, you've created an obligation to collect and file sales tax in PA on those orders. Now, will PA know? Will Georgia know? Nobody knows what you're doing. So practically speaking, if you're shipping out of PA, but you're collecting in Georgia, just finish out the month, remit to Georgia for the month, and then starting in December or January or whatever, switch the location in Shopify to PA, start collecting the PA rate, and then you're going to have to file 0 returns every single month in Georgia unless you want to just shut down your account there. But I would just leave it open, file 0 returns, and start filing monthly PA returns.
All right. That's what I was thinking. Just seemed like a lot to do.
Stafford,
so I probably shouldn't don't change the location address in Shopify until I do that, basically.
Yeah, because because you're going to change the location address and then you're going to go in your sales tax settings for that location.
I did all that already, yeah. But I didn't like activate PA basically.
Yeah.
I didn't put the product in inventory in PA as of yet. It still has GA on the
Yeah, because Shopify says where your inventory is where your physical presence is, and then right.
And I'm wondering if we should just next year, instead of renewing in Georgia the LLC, just try to just move it here.
That doesn't matter. The LLC is where your corporation was formed. It's irrelevant for anything.
But
Really.
do I have to charge tax still in Georgia?
So you have your LLC, that's your corporate formation, but then you have your sales tax license.
Right.
That's a separate thing. If you ever want to continue to have Georgia as a physical location, then you keep that license active, but you have to file 0 returns every month that showed 0 sales in Georgia.
Right.
So
but I don't need that if everything's here.
Then just shut off, then just cancel that license.
So it
Cancel
doesn't matter that the business is technically licensed in Georgia?
No, because the LLC doesn't mean where you're licensed. You need to have a sales tax license in Pennsylvania to start collecting and remitting
Right.
sales tax in
I
Pennsylvania.
just didn't know if the business is like whatever in Georgia, then we have to technically collect there.
You can be incorporated in Delaware. You can be incorporated anywhere,
and not have a location there. So
Correct.
You wouldn't have to charge tax.
Correct. The location of your LLC is going to matter. Like if someone sues you, and that might be where you have to go to court potentially.
Gotcha.
But
okay. So eventually I could.
You guys are killing the stream with this business nerd stuff. Sorry, man. This is the joys. It's not all glamorous being
Another question. Another thing is, dude, I tested that shit with the orders and it fucking works like a charm.
All right. I'm going to work on that this weekend.
Yeah. The only thing I noticed was, at least on the app, because I was doing it on my phone, you have to create the order and then it creates it, and then you can't send the invoice. You have to hit create order again and then it works. It's weird. It makes you do it twice.
That doesn't make sense, but
I think it might just be an app glitch or something. But it worked just fine. I'm just saying, if you have something like that happen, don't give up. Just click create order again.
All right. Hey, a couple questions.
Yeah.
All I have for Blems are green micarta cyborgs. I think there's 4 of them. Email address is support@jackwolfknives.com. And price is $247.50 shipped. And so
I put the email in the chat. Hawksbill. Yeah, I actually talked to Colin this week and I said, add it to the list. We might try to do a Hawksbill knife soon. I don't know what you're thinking. Are you going to do one eventually?
Hawksbill's on my radar. Tonto's on my radar. Drop points on my radar. Like, I've gotten a lot of good suggestions from you guys. And so, that's a starting point. But I got to be able to draw one that looks good and fits in a handle I like. So I'll give it a shot. I really like a Hawkbill. They're a bitch to sharpen. They have to be belt sharpened. More practically speaking.
Must collect taxes in states where there are operations or employees.
Yeah, that's your physical presence. And
yeah, but would Colin count? He's in Georgia.
Yeah, but it's the kind of thing where, practically speaking, who the fuck is going to know? Like, the sales aren't significant enough to where they're going to audit you and do anything. Yeah. He's right, though. Technically speaking, because he is an owner of the company and because he exists there and has a home office there, then technically you probably should collect.
It's not like it's hard to collect, so.
It's not.
I could just leave it on for Georgia and call it a day.
You could.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry,
guys. With the disclaimer, consult your accounting professional. We are not providing advice, and we are explaining this for entertainment purposes only.
Yeah, we're just dicking around is what we're doing.
This is all hypothetical.
Yes, hypotheticals.
Here's how you build a hypothetical pipe bomb.
All right, I'm gonna wrap it up. Well, we gotta do a giveaway, so let's do this.
Hey, did you see that KC finally switched over to the StreamYard system?
Yeah, I actually caught the end of it, and you were giving him shit about it.
I was glad. I was trying to prop him up because it was time.
Dude, he was really hanging on there for a minute, wasn't he?
He was. Hard to teach an old dog new tricks.
It's true, for sure. He definitely is an old dog. Just ordered. Oh, what was that? World Tree. Just ordered a new knife from Winter Blade. Not very excited about the 6 month. Yeah, I wanted to ask how many of you guys picked up a Winter Blade Mirage? I'm curious if it went the way of the Factor and like crushed. He said it funded in 60 seconds, which is fucking crazy.
God damn. He's on to something with those magnets.
Yep. The American Devos are going to pre-order. I don't have a date yet. It's probably going to be like, I'm thinking right at the beginning of the year is my smart bet. I'm just kind of curious if it's smart to do one in between Thanksgiving and Christmas. Like, I don't know. Everybody's going to be spending their money on gifts and shit. And then like right after Christmas, the New Year's, people are going to be like, they're going to have money, I would think. Or not. I don't fucking know. But it gives me time to market it and everything. So
there's never a great time to do anything, man. Just
yep.
Get it out there and move the ball. That's what I think.
That's true. I'll see how it goes. What usually happens is I send the prototypes out, which I did. I only have 2 this time. And then I get excited about it when people start talking about it. And then I fucking want to do the pre-order. And then I set it up for like, 3 weeks later or something. That's probably what will happen. So we'll see. Let's do hashtag Cyborg since we're here. Cyborg. So if you guys want to win, not a cyborg, if you want to win stout scales and some KPL and stuff, and the knife oil from M3 Tactical, definitely put in a hashtag Cyborg. If you don't have a stout, I mean, you could gift them to somebody that does. You could, I guess, sell them. And yeah, how many of you guys are going to be picking up a Cyborg tomorrow? I was thinking about getting the toxic one just because I fucking love this thing, and I like the look of the toxic one, but every time I've gotten 2, I end up giving one away or selling one. So it's like, should I just be happy with this sexy ass pink one and move on?
If you're happy with the pink one, just leave that one for someone else to scoop.
Yeah. But that toxic though, man.
It's sick. I know. But there'll be other Jack Wolf knives in toxic. Like now that I've seen how it comes out and people like it, like, dude, it's on the permanent list,
Yeah.
100%.
That's something I was going to recommend, dude. That would be a cool thing to do in your Facebook group is let people vote on like materials. And you could even do it where it's like they vote for this block, or so you don't have to give away like it's this month, but you could just be like, hey, I'm doing materials for the end of 24 or 23, and I was and then because people love to be involved, you know what I mean?
I know. I've been trying to think of ways to engage. So
right, that's what I try to do today, and I got to go back and see how it did, if a lot of people commented or not. But I think it's fun too, because then you can say you guys picked. Like, makes it a lot easier when somebody's like, "Why'd you do this, motherfucker?" It's like, well, because you fucking you guys picked it.
Now, what I'm meant to ask you this. What did you think of the Osier production knife? I'm competing.
I'm gonna put this down for a second. Do you want my real opinion, or 100%. Should I soften 100%. It up?
No. Tell me. It's a kickstop for whatever that's worth.
The kickstop flipper's cool. I like the mechanism from Lee Williams. I had one on a Pena. It was really cool. The design, I just don't. Man, I wish he had done like a production phantom lock or something. Like that would have been super cool and unique and different, and people would have loved it. But just doing a flipper, I don't know. So like those things combined kind of just killed it for me. I would have loved it as a backlock, like the way he does it. You know what I mean? Unless he does flippers, I don't know.
He does all kinds of shit,
but I was not too interested, and the price point was like, I think it was close to $400 for micarta or titanium and M390. It wasn't like fat carbon or like crazy inlaid shit or anything. We can pull it up real quick. Is it on Blade HQ or something?
I don't know. I just saw a lot of ads for it today.
What?
I saw a lot of ads on Instagram for it today. Not ads, but content.
That's an ad.
Yeah.
I do those ads sometimes.
I presume they were made by Riot.
Yes, they were. I mean, I can almost guarantee they're made because that's Knife Joy's kind of like go-to OEM too.
But it wasn't. Was it a? What does Knife Joy have to do with it?
It's their exclusive, I think.
No. The Knife Center has them.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Then I'm going somewhere else.
It's an Osier project, but obviously Osier and Pena are in superlative together, and Pena's one of Riot's best clients.
It's definitely Riot. I have no. It's the kick stop. I've never seen anybody else do that.
Right.
This says coming soon, so it hasn't dropped yet.
Tomorrow, I'm competing with that. Tomorrow.
Oh shit! That's why you're asking.
Yay! I'm like,
okay,
yay.
So here's my opinion: the design itself, when open, does nothing for me. And I don't know. That's like Colin had a custom he got at Blade West. It was fucking dope. Blade shape was more of a sheep's foot. It had the back lock at the tail lock thing. That's awesome.
Yeah, but those are friggin', a tail lock. You're not getting a tail lock from a production company. If they do, those are hard to build perfectly. Those are loot.
Okay, well, I'm just saying.
But I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
Like it's flipper only. I don't know. It just doesn't do anything for me.
Yeah.
And then you have, this is just regular weave carbon fiber. That's fine. I don't know. I'm not trying to shit on it. It's just not for me personally. And it's $400.
Yeah.
I don't see why this is $400 and Pena's stuff is $275.
Yeah, I don't know. The shield doesn't have that much.
$385 all tie. Like, what in here makes this? But prices have gone up. He's got the name, dude.
He's got the name.
And I think that's really where it comes down to. He's got the name, Let me run this because we got 50 entries on here.
Okay.
Here we go, guys. Let's see who won this son bitch. Who won that? Who won them scales? Hopefully it's Josh. Mark. Hey!
Good job, Mark.
Congrats, dude. Now I feel bad because I was hoping it's this guy. No, that's cool, Mark. Let me put my email in here. I don't know if you have it already. We chat in the comments a lot. I don't think you've ever emailed me. Email me your address, Mark, and I will get this out to you. Like I said, if you don't have a stout, you could sell them. You could buy a stout. You could give them to somebody else. You can do whatever you want with them. But congrats, dude. Thanks for watching. He said, holy shit. Yeah, bro. So shout out to Mark there. Yeah, I don't know. I saw that knife. It really did. Like, I didn't even know it existed until a week ago. And then all of a sudden there was a drop. And I was like, damn.
I seem to have kept it under wraps because I hadn't seen much of it either.
Yeah, I didn't see it at Blade West where you'd think it would have been advertised a lot. But maybe he didn't have the prototypes till just now. And then he just wanted to do it. But there's a lot of dealers, so I don't know.
Tom at Notorious EDC, his pre-orders on Saturday for his slip joint, the Kingpin.
That's another one I want to talk about real quick. Josh, if you miss on the drop, hit me up. I will get you a set of scales. They're not going to be the custom fancy ones, but I'll get you scales to fix your knife. All right. So just hit me up, please. I don't want you having your knife in a box, dude. I got my Cardo ones right over there. I'll send them to you. All right. What were we talking about? Notorious. Kingpin. So this is another one that does nothing for me. I know I might be in the minority here, but just hear me out and we can talk about it. So this is the knife. So first thing on it for me is, what the fuck? Come on. Kingpin.
His photography is sick.
Yeah,
but he's a professional photographer.
For sure. But how about this? How do I fucking get to the page?
I don't know.
Like, give me the price. Give me the, like, what's the price?
You know what? I don't know.
Does he have it like locked up right now because it's tomorrow or Saturday?
Maybe he doesn't have the order page up yet, dude.
I saw it the other day though, I swear, and it was like, yeah, like I can't click on this. So anyway, I think if I remember correctly, it's at least, I think it's like $300. It's like maybe 285 or 295, something like that. Which it's Riot, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so let me break this down for you guys. It's just like this knife to me. This is the JE made one that I have in from Colin. This has really good walk and talk. I'm pretty sure this is Riot as well. This pass through nail nick is so dumb, but it feels really good. But this is too modern. So they've gone too far here. And that kills the slip joint for me. So with his knife, it's the same thing. It's just a little too far for me. And then on the other end of the spectrum, it's Altai or my Carta, which at this point, I would want that to be fat carbon of some kind, thanks to you.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like too modern and then not modern enough on that aspect. The humps are weird for me personally. I normally am a poon guy, but like a clip poon, I don't know. It's just this one does nothing for me. I think it's cool. Like I get it, but I don't know. So that's where I'm at.
I got to handle the prototype. Obviously, what my preferences are as far as the way I like to design things. So that's more far removed from traditional than I like. But I do like when you see it in person, it's kind of slender, kind of gentlemanly. And I like a harpoon. So it's got a stop pin in it. He did that to protect from blade wrap. So if you like a stop pin, it's got that feature. It's got a lanyard hole, which is something I'd like to maybe figure out on my stuff down the road. But
you gotta just do it like we did, and just put a little pin in the back.
Yeah, loop through post. Yeah,
yeah, because it keeps everything else.
Yeah,
clean.
100%. Yeah. So, and I mean, I like Tom. He's a friend, so I'm biased there.
No, I totally get it. And again, I think it's cool. I just
but
if I'm being honest, when I look at it, my brain just goes, eh.
Yeah.
And I think part of that is you ruined it for me, maybe.
I definitely did.
But then again, had you not done that, I wouldn't even be looking at a slip joint.
Right.
So there's two ends to that conversation, but I don't know. I hope it does. He's gonna kill it. I mean, just him alone, he could fucking sell a pile of shit probably for $300.
He's got a very rabid audience. I mean,
yeah,
those beer bombs and his pouches. Now his pouches are fucking awesome. His pouches are sick, and I don't have any use for a beer bomb, but it's really well made. Riot makes those.
Yeah,
but his pouches are really nice. Like, I don't have much to judge it against. I'm not like into pouches, but the ones that I've gotten from him, the quality is excellent and they're useful. So,
right. The slip joint is Riot too, right?
Yeah, definitely. Because he has that relationship.
Yeah. I don't know. It's a little too far for me. I think that's what it is, basically. It's like this.
Yeah, exactly.
And that James brand one I have, it kind of like toes that line, because it does the same. It has that fucking goofy ass thing down here. That's the thing that kills it for me.
I mean, I got nervous going this far. You know what I mean? And this still is like a wolf in sheep's clothing or a sheep in wolf's clothing. Like this still has, it's just on the edges, versus like something completely reimagined. And the blade is certainly a traditional blade. So I don't know. This was kind of as far as I was willing to take it, and I'm excited to try out a couple more futuristic things, but I want it always to look like that still looks like a traditional knife versus like that looks like a modern knife with a slip joint mechanism in it.
Yeah. And
But that's for me, for my brand, my brand identity.
Yep.
And like your knife, your slip joint obviously looks a lot more like a modern knife, but it also looks like a Devo knife, which is important, you know?
Yeah, I mean, it's about the sheep's foot for me, you know?
Yeah. And if Tom designed like frame lock on bearings, and if he designed a line of knives and they all had a similar aesthetic, then I think it would wrap up nicely. But like one slip joint standalone, for me anyway, I would lean towards a traditional leaning unless it fit my whole product line as my own preference.
That's a good point.
3.7.
What's the size on that?
On the Kingpin?
Yeah.
I'm not sure, but it was like, because he doesn't like big knives, so it's going to.
That's why I asked, because that would maybe change my mind if it was like a small little guy, or is it just kind of like a normal size? Like
I don't even think it has a 4-inch handle.
2 3/4 blade, something like that.
See if he has the specs.
We had the specs up, but
I'm looking. Oh, it's 280 on the stonewash tie. 2.9-inch blade. 3.7 inches closed. So it's like similar to a midnight.
Yes, that's it's almost too big for me on that.
It is. It's a little more like slender from top to bottom. But
Yeah.
I don't know. I hope he does well with it.
Size. I guess that's basically what ours is too, though.
Yeah, the homie in the chat, Barry McCockiner, I laugh like such a child. I think that shit's hilarious. He said an extra large Venom Jack 3.75-inch blade. Like, dude, that would be a big ass handle. That would be a big ass handle.
Yeah. He also wants a deep carry clip on a slip joint. And I will not go there, dude. I will not put a clip on a slip joint.
Yeah, I get a lot of like actually an astonishing amount of requests for that, or comments under videos and stuff. But it's like, man, you're really gonna have to twist my arm hard.
You would have to find a way to make it disappear. Like, I don't know how it would work. You'd have to, like, if I ever did it, like on your knife, what I would do is I would design it and I would send it with 2 fucking inlays and have one that you could pop wire clip on it and one that was just clean. And that might work. That would probably be the only way I would do it, because I just don't want a slip joint with a fucking clip on it.
I don't really see the point. I know you guys like to carry a knife right there, but the point of a pocket clip to me is for one hand access and opening, and you're not gonna one hand open your slip joint. Yeah. So it's like, just pull it out of your pocket.
Just fucking buy one of these. They work great.
Or buy a clip slip. Exactly. XL hands. People want big knives. I'm totally understand that, Barry. The question is, how big of a market is that? Because the only people who ever ask me for knives that size, my follow-up question is always like, are you a giant dude with big hands? And they're always like, yeah. It's like, okay, you're 1% of the population.
That's like lefties.
Right. Yeah, it's even rarer than lefties, these giants.
All right. I got to wrap it up because I got to go to sleep.
Yep.
But appreciate you coming on, dude. And we will do this again in about a month.
Yep.
We like to do that. It's always fun, dude, because a lot of shit happens in a month. And I don't know. It's like chilling, chatting with you. It's a good time. Absolutely. Let me take a stab at what's next. Hold on. Let me
all right.
see if I can get anything out of you. All right, so let's pull up the lineup. It's going to be one that's on the website already because he has a routine he doesn't even know yet where he does one every 4 releases. That's special. So we've got all these already.
You know it's not the little bro because
I know it's not the low bro. I know it's not the low drag. Big bro, calling it. Oh, but it's a clip point, and we just did a clip point. Didn't we just do a couple clip points? What was the one? No, it was a spear point. So my gut says big bro, Jack, because I feel like it's one of your favorites. And how could you go the first calendar year without dropping it? So gut says big bro. This is what it looks like. Sexy as fuck. I really want, dude, I still want a little bro, and I'm still pissed because my fucking little bro review is just sitting there unreleased.
Just hang in there.
Yeah, but like by the time that thing comes out, what am I gonna like? I'll post it and be like a year update.
I don't know.
I've had the knife for 3 days. Like it'll be
that
fucking
whole
weird.
situation was not good for anybody. So
I'm gonna do it though. No, but all the other motherfuckers just released their videos.
I know.
I held mine, dude. Cause I fucking listen.
Yeah.
I hate that shit. Anyway. So this is the big bro. This is what you can expect in December, I think. The other options would be the humpback jack, which is, now that I look at it, it's almost like an inverted canine or something. I don't know.
It's a Eureka, so it doesn't.
You're a Eureka.
It's called a Eureka jack. It's got a hump in the back, and then it kicks out again.
Yeah, I'm sure it looks uncomfortable as fuck, and it's probably one of the most comfortable knives.
Extremely comfortable.
Yep, I could tell you that. The Venom is probably the next one that I'm like really, I love a Warney sheep's foot. That could be it. And then you got the Javelina jack. A lot of clip points, dude.
Yeah,
you gotta work on those sheep's feet while you're cracking away there.
Yeah, I know. I don't know what got into me there, drawing the clip points. My point of view when I started this thing was just what I saw sell in traditional slip joints, and
it's a lot of clip points. Yeah,
clip points are always a big winner, and I like to draw them. But I'll tell you what, they're a pain in the ass to fit in the handles sometimes.
Yeah. So we're down to 1, 2, 3, 4 that it could be. Because I remember you saying the low drag wasn't until next year for some reason. I remember that.
I don't know
why. Little bro. What?
I don't know why I did that.
What? Told us that?
I gave you clues. Yeah. I drop breadcrumbs for you sometimes, and you always pick them up.
Yeah, so I would either go Venom or Big Bro on this one because you've done a lot of spear point. I don't know if you're thinking the way I think, but you've done a few spear points already, at least 2 that I can think of. You've only done 1 Warney and then a bunch of clip points. So, like, if I was sitting there and I had the choice of which one, like, as a company, I would drop. Now, you've planned way ahead, so this is, I would go Venom because it's a Warney and it kind of makes sense. The only other thing I could think of is any of this Christmas related? I don't think so. So, I don't know. I think it's one of these 2, and my gut says Venom, but I'm going to say Big Bro. So, there we go. Big Bro Jack coming at you in December. I'm excited about it.
Well, whatever it is, they're all sitting on my dining room table right now.
Already?
Yep. They're getting inspected this weekend, and then they're getting packaged next week, and then the following week they'll get distributed, and then I'll make the announcement around the 1st.
And then you'll send me one like 2 weeks before that. Like
yeah, sure.
Send me a Big Bro. All right, Big Bro. Thanks for coming on tonight. I appreciate it. Thank you guys for checking this out and listening to us bullshit around. And we hit a lot of ground tonight.
We did.
So that's always good. And yeah, that's all I got. Ben, you got anything you want to close out with?
Just thank you guys for being awesome and joining us. We love you guys.
Check out the Facebook group, Jack Wolf Knives Worldwide. And stay tuned for the Cyborg drop tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern. And we got the stout scales at noon. And have a great night. Love you guys. Peace.
Peace.